Sri Navadvipa Sataka, 100 verses glorifying Navadvip, written by Srila Prabhodananda Sarasvati. By hearing of him, meditating on him, and performing many other activities, let us worship Lord Krishna, who, his complexion now splendid as gold, overcome with ecstatic love, intently engaged in kirtan, surrounded by his associates playing mridangas and other musical instruments, worshipped by all, removing the contamination of Kali Yuga and giving happiness to the devotees, has now appeared in Navadvip. I offer my respectful obeisances to Navadvip, the blissful spiritual abode, which the Chandogya Upanishad says is a spiritual city, which the Smriti Shastra says is the abode of Lord Vishnu, and others say is Shvetadvip, and a devotee expert at tasting transcendental nectar says is the forest of Braj. When, as I wander in Navadvip's forests, will I fall unconscious as I suddenly see the wonderful, youthful Lord Gora jubilantly dancing with his associates? May scriptures where the very wonderful glory of Lord Gauranga's city is not heard never enter my ears. May wretched people who do not become joyful when Mathura's glory enters their ears never come to speak to me or even enter the path of my eyes. Enough! Enough with the happiness of staying among woman she-asses. Enough, enough. Enough with wealth, children, scholarship, and fame. Enough. Enough with the troubles of many kinds of spiritual practice. Take shelter of Antardvip and become fortunate. The home of Lord Gora's youthful pastimes, Sri Mayapur, where the ground is soft, where there is a great splendor of many jewels, where there are wonderful sounds of many birds and animals, and where there are wonderful trees and vines with many flowers, is my life and soul. Million on millions of Chintamani jewels may meet together somewhere else. Still, my body, darkened with Godruma's dust, will never go to any other place. May the Lord's wonderful pastimes in Madhyadvip be kind to me. May Brahmakund and the other sacred places there be kind to me, a fool. May the Kalpavalli vine of the kindness of He who is everyone's friend and who plays in Madhyadvip at midday bear its fruits. All glories to Koladvip's forests, which stand by the Ganges shore, which are worshipped by the leaders of the demigods, and which are filled with the wonderful opulences of many birds, beasts, trees, vines, groves, lakes, ponds, open land, hills, and flowing streams. O feet, please walk in Rudradvip. O eyes, please gaze at Modadrumadvip's beauty. O tongue, please chant what the ears have heard of the glories of Lord Gora's sacred places. O nose, please smell the sweet fragrance of Lord Gora's forest. O limbs, your hairs erect in ecstatic joy, please roll on the ground in the places of Lord Gora's transcendental pastimes. May my heart cling to the wonderfully sweet ocean of nectar in Navadvip forest, the path to which all the Vedas together cannot find, and the slightest scent of which cannot be found even by wandering again and again through the length and breadth of the universe. May the Gora forest, which is Lord Hari's supreme abode, which is filled with surging currents from the ocean of splendid and passionate transcendental love, which is filled with the bliss of Lord Radhika Ramana's sweet pastimes, and which was sweetly founded by Sri Radha, who is worshipped by all the worlds, shine in my heart. I pray that birth after birth I may be a clump of grass in the land of Janudvip, which is worshipped even by the king of the gods. That would be my joy. They who ardently are devoted to the flower-petal feet of Sri Radha's beloved, whose entire lives are spent in carefully following transcendental religious principles, who always serve the dust of the Vaishnava's feet, who touch the highest point of renunciation, and whose hearts are plunged in the nectar of divine love, find very far away Sri Radha's merciful glance, which is very quickly and easily found at Simantadweep. In the sweet nectar ocean of pure undivided love, on an island of the Lord who is Sachi's son, Vrindavan is manifest. There, tossed by pure love for each other, the sweet divine couple enjoys transcendental pastimes day and night. One who stays there enters a condition of life that is full of nectar. I do not know whether I shall be able to meditate on Lord Madhava's 2 lotus feet. Am I qualified to follow the path of Sri Shukadev Goswami, Sri Narada Muni, and the other great saints? Still, whether I meet good or ill, the beautiful forest of Godruma, where Srimati Radha enjoys transcendental pastimes, is my life and soul. Will I attain Lord Radhapati's sweet abode named Navadvip? Its boundary the Vedas cannot touch. It is a secret festival of the greatest transcendental bliss. Shiva, Brahma, and the other demigods do not know even a single drop of its nectar. If my body is torn to pieces, or if hosts of terrible calamities fall on me, still I will never thirst to leave Sri Godruma and go to those other insignificant places. When, hungrily eating naturally fallen leaves as if they were ambrosia, thirstily drinking handfuls of the Ganges' pure water, and my heart plunged in nectar as I gaze at the place where sweet Lord Radhika Ramana enjoyed the pastime of the rasa dance, will I reside in Lord Gora's forest? One who is firmly determined to stay in Navadvip until the end of his body has already performed all kinds of devotional service. The greatest and most wonderful of all goals of life rests in his hand. His feet are on everyone's head. Brahma and the gods bow down before him. Offer your respectful obeisances to the forest of Navadvip, which, by giving them the sweet nectar of wild spiritual love, delights its birds, its beasts, its trees, and its vines. A devotee may be proud to become successful by practicing pure devotional service in some other place. We do not think he is successful. We shall always take shelter of Vrindavan, which is very dear to Sri Sri Radhika Madhava. Now that I, who am a reservoir of faults, who have not the slightest virtue, and who am the lowest of all, but who still hankers for what is very difficult to attain, have come to Lord Gora's forest, the seed from which the most splendid devotional service grows, will I become successful? Lord Gauranga's forest, where the name Radha, the sweetest part of the shoreless nectar ocean of pure and splendid divine love, shines, is the only goal of my life. One who never performs any spiritual activities, but who has wholeheartedly taken shelter of Navadvip, will attain the great festival of the nectar of pure love for Sri Radha's beloved. My own people may leave me, my body may collapse, still I will not take a single step beyond the border of Navadvip. She is not my mother, he is not my father, he is not my relative, he is not my friend, he is not my well-wisher, and he is not my guru, who does not wish me to reside in Srimati Radha's forest of Navadvip. For sinful me, what is as auspicious as staying in the land of Godrum until this body ends? Will I then touch the flood of splendor flowing from the feet of the beautiful divine couple that enjoys newer and newer transcendental pastimes? When, manifesting a spiritual body, will I reside in Lord Gauranga's city, where all the moving and stationary living entities eternally shine with the splendor of intensely blissful spiritual forms, and which they whose eyes are blinded by Maya misunderstand with a host of faulty ideas? Take shelter of Lord Gauranga's city, where, unseen by the unintelligent, all living entities and even all things are blissful, eternal, spiritual, and full of knowledge. They who attribute faults to the blissful, moving, and stationary living entities in Navadvip are offenders. How can they attain Sri Sri Radha Madhava? They who relish blaspheming the residence of Lord Gauranga's sacred place, they who will not glorify Godadruma, and the fools that somehow think Godruma like other places, cannot attain eternal, blissful, spiritual forms in Modadruma. I pray that even in dreams I may never come near these sinful people, the lowest of men. He who, rejecting others' wealth, others' wives, hatred, envy, greed, dishonesty, cruelty, violence, and lying words, becomes devoted to the holy abode of Navadvip, will not be frustrated in his desire to stay in Vrindavan. Do everything that opposes religious principles, reject all religious duties, and abandon your guru in order to reside in Gaudaranya. That is your supreme religious duty. That is devotion to your guru. Your sins are whatever stops you from residing in Gaudaranya. When his body ends, he who stays in Gaudaranya's abode of Navadvip, which is filled with wonderful, limitless mercy, will attain perfection. Fools, the paths of the world and the Vedas will bring you only trouble. Give up everything and make yourself a leaf hut in Shri Godruma in Gauradesh. The Vedas may talk as they like, the people may think whatever they like, and the unintelligent logicians may establish whatever theories they like, but our heart will never leave the forest where Lord Krishna, his form filled with the sweet nectar of splendid, pure, passionate, spiritual love, enjoyed the pastimes of Sri Radha. Bowing down again and again and begging with many plaintive words to the shoreless ocean of mercy that is the hero of Braja's playful girls, I pray, in one birth, allow me to find my happiness in Navadvip, which is a shoreless ocean of passionate, transcendental love. I praise sweet Mayapur, where a dabbler who walks down many paths at once, a fool, one who has rejected his proper religious duty, an independent person who will not follow the rules of the scriptures, a person who has not the slightest scent of the touch of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who lives there only out of lust and greed, all attain the supreme destination. A bewildered fool cannot understand Sri Navadvipa Dhama, which is hidden from all the Vedas, and which is the place where one may attain the ultimate happiness of devotional service, the highest of all happinesses in this world. To demigod worshippers, to those wrapped in the imperishable impersonal Brahman, and even to animal-like persons intent only on enjoying their senses, by its own inconceivable powers, the forest of Koladweep gives the rare and secret nectar of love for Sri Sri Radhika Madhava. When, taking shelter in Srimati Radharani's feet, will I see Sri Godruma's wonderful form, a millionth part of which the Vedas cannot touch, the yogis cannot understand, the great souls headed by Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Shukadev, Arjuna, and Uddhava cannot see, and, what to speak of others, even the Brijabasis cannot see. O Gora, O Lord who enjoys pastimes with Sri Radha in Radhavana, please forcibly drag my heart, now tightly bound with hundreds of ropes of wicked desires, to your lotus feet. I cannot subdue my senses at all. I have no virtues. A host of faults always enters me. Where shall I go? What shall I do? Alas, alas! No mercy is shown to me. O Lord, please give me residence in Navadvip, my only home. My noble birth, wealth, and even my life breath may all perish. My good reputation may wither and die. My religious principles may run to destruction. Everyone may always mistreat me. My body may wither away with hundreds of incurable diseases. Still, my heart will never leave Sri Gauranga's city. I bow down to offer my respects to they who know that within or without the material world there is nothing as sweet as Lord Gora's forest. All glories to Lord Gora's Gaudadesh forest, which, splendid with tilak decorations, clothed in white garments of the Ganges waters, splendid with the glory of blossoming champaka flowers, glorious with many kinds of nectar, and charming with the sweet nectar of pure love for Lord Krishna, is very dear to Sri Jagannath Mishra's son. Who will not take shelter of wonderful, blissful Navadvip, where millions of glorious kalpavriksha trees are embraced by the sweet vines of pure bhakti that are their wives, and where Brahmapur and all other holy places shine with great splendor? As much as they speak ill of residing in Navadvip, to that extent they will not understand the secret of pure spontaneous love for Lord Govinda's lotus feet in Vrindavan, the root from which the Lord's pastimes of love sprout. Again and again, remembering the person dark as a new monsoon cloud, who is embraced by Sri Radha, her transcendental form like a vine splendid as millions of lightning flashes, a certain saintly devotee, his mouth filled with loud, urgent, very sweet prayers, and pure devotional love rising within him, wanders in Lord Gora's sacred places. When, at every moment shedding tears of deep love, and the hairs of my body erect with joy, will I roll upon the ground where Lord Gora placed his feet? The secret of pure devotional service rests in they who take shelter of Lord Gora's sacred place, where my Lord Hari, his transcendental form filled with the nectar of splendid divine love, assumes the role of Sri Radha. If the people speak unbearable insults to me, as if I were a chandala or a dog or an ass, then I do not feel unhappy as I stay in the 9 islands of Navadvip, where the 9 processes of loving devotional service beginning with hearing about Lord Krishna and culminating in surrendering one's life and heart to him, shine with great glory. O brother, give up all your spiritual practices and take shelter of Lord Gora's sacred place. As you desire, so your body, words, and heart will act. With a bowl in hand, we go begging even on the paths of the houses of the dog-eaters in beautiful Navadvip. We pray that we will never take this body, attained by many past pious deeds, to any other place. When, wearing a kopina and one old cloth, day and night singing of the waves of Sri Radha Madhupati's confidential pastimes, and at the end of the day eating a fruit or a root, will I spend this lifetime in the forest of Navadvip. Above the material nature, in the ocean of happiness that is the supreme Brahman splendor, is the spiritual sky, the supreme abode glorified in the Vedas. Within the spiritual sky, the circle of Goda Bhumi is glorious with all splendor. There, gaze on the forest of Vrindavan. Even though staying there himself, he who commits the offense of thinking that the residents of Gaurasthala do not have spiritual forms of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, will not attain the supreme abode. When one understands that the moving and unmoving residents of Navadvip have forms of eternal spiritual nectar, then he becomes a genuine servant of Radha's beloved. Wandering in Navadvip is the best of all opulences, the best of all religious principles, the best of all kinds of worship, the best of all perfections, the best of all glories, and the best of all oceans of sweetness. When, singing, dancing, laughing, rolling about on the ground, running, crying, or falling down unconscious, will I, blind with intoxication by drinking the nectar of great spiritual love, and oblivious to the world, wander in Navadvip? When, oblivious to the world, religious duties, home, body, insults, praise, pleasure, and pain, and intoxicated with the nectar of pure spiritual love, will I become like a madman in Lord Gora's sacred abode? When, chanting the Siddha mantra of very wonderful names beginning Hare, Krishna, and Rama, will I, serving Braja's divine couple day and night in Lord Gora's sacred abode, attain the success of my life? I meditate on wonderful Gaurasthala, splendid with gold, crystal, and rubies, with great sapphire trees, with courtyards made of many kinds of jewels, with buzzing bees, with blossoming vines, with wonderful parrots, peacocks, cuckoos, and other birds, and with lakes filled with lotuses and other flowers. When, wandering day and night through the valleys of Madhyadvip on the pathways through the various pastime forest groves, through groves of newly blossoming kadamba trees, and through the beautiful places of the rasa dance pastimes, will I become fortunate with intimate spiritual love for the divine couple shining within me. What is the use of a beautiful young wife, children, and wealth, which give only temporary happiness? I offer my respectful obeisances to the beauty of Vaikuntha. I pray that birth after birth I may be devoted to the forest where Brajendra's son, who has now assumed the complexion of Sri Radhika, enjoys splendid transcendental pastimes. With my head, I bow down before Godruma. With my words, I speak about Godruma. With my intelligence, I remember Godruma. I do not know anything but Sri Godruma. I long for the pollen of the lotus feet of they whose life and soul is Sri Gaurasthala, the root that sprouts love for Lord Radhapati. O beloved, when will I meditate on you in Gaurasthala, which is filled with many pastime forest pavilions, delightful with many lakes and ponds, beautiful with trees, vines and bushes everywhere, and with many kinds of joyful birds and beasts, and is glorious with many splendid pastime places? When, with a faltering voice, will I glorify Lord Madhava's holy names? When will I muddy the ground under a tree with streams of tears flowing from my eyes? When, excited at heart, will I take shelter of the two golden and sapphire splendors that have become one before my eyes in Gaurasthala? I will not talk of anything else. I will not hear of anything else. I will not meditate on anything else. I will not go anywhere else. I will not worship anything else. I will not take shelter of anything else. In dream or awake, I will not see anything but the forest where he who accepted Sri Radhika's splendor enjoyed pastimes. My heart does not yearn to become a Lord Brahma on Satyaloka, nor does it seek the body of an associate of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, but it does think very highly of any birth, even as a tiny insect, in the home of the fortunate souls that enjoy festivals of sweet nectar in the pure realm of Navadvipa. I think any birth where, even from a distance, I may gaze at Navadvipa, touch it, and fall down on the ground to offer respects to it, is very fortunate. Will the fortunate day that I take such a birth ever come? Although I have not the slightest fragrance of faith in the exalted glory of Sri Navadvipa Dhama, and although I do not sincerely yearn to live there, nevertheless, words like that flow from me. This mostly unconscious world, and even they who think they know everything, cannot know the truth about Navadvipa. When carefully concealed Lord Hari appears, then his concealed abode also appears. Only a sincere devotee, by his Guru's mercy, can know the truth of Navadvipa. When, as I wander in Navadvipa's forests, will I fall unconscious, suddenly seeing Lord Gaura chanting Hari, Ram, Hari in a kirtan in a sandy courtyard? When, eating ripe fruits fallen to the ground and drinking the delicious river water, will I wander in the forests by the Ganges shore? If you worship Navadvipa, then you also worship the forest of Braj. If you don't worship Navadvipa, then the forest of Braj is far away. If you worship Lord Chaitanya, then you also worship the hero of Braj. If you don't worship Lord Chaitanya, then you cannot worship Lord Krishna. Navadvipa is Vrindavan manifested in the land of Bengal. Lord Chaitanya, the son of Sachi, is Lord Krishna, the greatest hero, the son of Braja's king. His complexion is now golden with Radha's splendor. He performs in Navadvipa pastimes that even Vrindavan cannot attain. They who chant Hari, Hari, Hari in Vrindavan become free from all offenses and attain Braja's divine couple. In Navadvipa, Lord Gaura forgives multitudes of sins and freely gives the sweet nectar of the bliss of Braj. One who lives in Navadvipa holds Braj in his hand. In any other place, Vrindavan is like a faraway mirage. To make Lord Krishna's pastimes perfect, Navadvipa embraces to its chest all of beautiful Vrindavan's forests and gardens. I offer my respectful obeisances to the pastimes of Lord Godrumachandra. I offer my respectful obeisances to the spiritual opulence of Gaurasthala. I offer my respectful obeisances to they who have taken shelter of Lord Gauranga's feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Gaura, the incarnation of mercy. O Lord Vishvambar, O sweet Lord, O ocean of the treasure of divine love, O Nityananda, O son of Padmavati, O Lord whose heart melts with compassion, O best friend of the fallen, O Advaita, O husband of Sita, O master of all living entities, moving and inert, O Lord who made Lord Gaura descend to this world, O Lord worshipped by Srivas and Gadadhar, you are the goal of my life. You are the goal of my life. Let us glorify the boundlessly merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Prince of Braj. To taste the intoxicating sweet waves of the nectar of transcendental love for Krishna, as well as to give that nectar to others, he has now appeared in the transcendental abode of Navadvipa as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the use of studying many scriptures? What is the use of going on pilgrimage to holy places? Fear women who are like tigers. Spit on the opulences of Swargaloka. Know that all material benefits are as worthless as a handful of straw. Instead of chasing after them, please take shelter of Lord Gauranga, who is dressed in the garments of a sannyasi, and who, intoxicated by tasting the nectar of Krishna Prema, dances on the Ganges shore. If your heart is set on crossing beyond the ocean of repeated birth and death, if your heart relishes the sweet nectar of Krishna Sankirtan, and if your heart yearns to swim and sport in the ocean of pure love of Krishna, then please reside in Mayapur city. The fortunate town of Navadvipa remains on the earth. The Ganges remains. The same people still live here. The saintly devotees who have taken shelter of Lord Gauranga's feet remain. Alas, alas, I do not see anywhere the same kind of festival of pure love for Lord Hari. O Lord Chaitanya, O ocean of mercy, will I ever see your transcendental glory again? Let me offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Gaura's transcendental abode which, whether seen, touched, glorified, remembered, bowed down to from afar, or worshipped, gives the nectar of pure love for Lord Krishna. They who follow the rules of Varnashram Dharma, worship the deities, visit holy pilgrimage places, and study the Vedas, but do not reside in Lord Gaura's dear abode, cannot understand the abode of Vrindavan, which is beyond the reach of the four Vedas. Humbly thinking oneself lower than a blade of grass, natural gentleness and charm, speaking words sweet as nectar, spitting at the insignificant sense gratification of this world, this interest in the affairs of this world, and overwhelming love for Lord Hari are the transcendental virtues obtained by worshipping Lord Gaura's transcendental abode in this world. Worship millions of the most exalted spiritual masters if you wish. Study millions of Vedic scriptures if you wish. But know that it is they who yearn to reside in Lord Chaitanya Chandra's transcendental city who will understand the great secret that is pure love for Lord Krishna. Now is the age of Kali. My enemies, the senses, have become very strong. The splendid path of pure devotional service is blocked by millions of brambles. I am weak and agitated. Alas, alas, where can I go? O abode of Lord Chaitanya, if now you will not give me your mercy, what shall I do? I am tightly bound by chains of limitless, horrible desires. I am addicted to millions of sins. My mind is filled with pain. Millions of wicked men mislead me. They are not my friends. Except for the holy abode of Goda Mandala, who is my friend in this world? Alas, alas! How will the desire creeper of pure devotional service sprout in the desert of my heart? In my heart there is only one hope. I shall reside in Lord Gauranga's holy abode. Then I shall never again lament. I am chained by sinful desires. I have fallen into the painful ocean of repeated birth and death. The sharks and crocodiles of lust and anger are devouring me alive. I have no shelter. O holy abode of Lord Gauranga, please be merciful to me. His complexion as fair as molten gold, and his form filled with the splendid and blissful nectar of pure transcendental love, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has mercifully appeared in the town of Navadvip. In Navadvip, every home celebrates great festivals in honor of Bhakti Devi, the goddess of devotion. Navadvip is sweeter than Vaikuntha. My heart finds its happiness in the transcendental abode of Navadvip. When, residing somewhere in Navadvip, my heart peaceful, filled with ecstatic love for the son of Sachi, meditating moment after moment on the transcendental pastimes of the divine couple in Vrindavan, and happy with the devotional service proper for me, will I see sweet Vrindavan's forest everywhere. When, wandering on the splendid Ganges shore, will I suddenly see the peerless, splendid, beautiful, blissful, eternal, spiritual, rare home of Jagannath Mishra, Lord Sachinandan's abode. If I may reside in Godrum and the other places of Navadvip, and for this reason I consider the impersonalists of Varanasi to be very unimportant, then why should I go on a pilgrimage to Gaya to offer pinda to the ancestors? If I live in Navadvip, and my personal liberation does not weigh even as heavily as a fraction of an ounce to me, then why should I be interested in material piety, economic development, and sense gratification? If I live in Navadvip, and I have not the slightest fear of hell, then why should I be filled with anxiety over the well-being of my wife, children, friends, and relatives? O foolish people! Please seek the path of pure Hari Bhakti, which even the great sages in ancient times could not find after long searching. If in your heart there is no faith, and if you think it is too difficult to attain, then please abandon all these misconceptions and take shelter of Lord Gaura's city. Because the two abodes, Navadvip and Vrindavan, are not different, in some of these verses I have said that they are the same place. Still, in other verses I have specifically described the glories of Lord Gauranga's transcendental abode.